So, it goes without saying that the original Bioshock is one of the greatest games ever created. Anywhere from the story, to the characters, to the dialogue, to the setting, the gameplay, this game has it and does it all. And I think a lot of you guys will agree with that. However, every time I play it, and this is stemming back to the first time I actually played it, there's been a couple of questions that I've always had in the back of my mind. Maybe you guys have thought of one of these questions, and honestly, I don't think we'll ever get answers to these. So, without further ado, let's hop into the 5 questions from Bioshock 1 that we may never get answers to. So sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now, very quickly, I just wanted to mention that these questions are in no particular order. These are just 5 questions that I always think about when playing the first Bioshock. So, that goes without saying. In at the number 5 spot, we have the escort mission. As you guys know, you take a little sister and you have to escort her from point A to point B in order to get to the Fontaine boss fight. So, during the entirety of the game, usually when you save the little sisters, they run to the vents, or they're very mobile in terms of them being with a big daddy. So during the escort mission, why is the little girl, when she's actually cured from being a little sister, why is she so slow? Now, this is like the only problem I have with the game itself, and that's just because this is a really, in my opinion, unnecessary part of the story, but I still do understand the reasoning that they put into it. However, I just don't understand why the little sister is so slow, especially when, one, she's not even a little sister anymore, she's a little girl. Two, why is she so slow when I've seen little sisters run to vents, run to big daddies, and all of that? Why couldn't she do that during the escort mission? And then three, why does it take forever for her to actually gather the atom from each individual splicer? To me, it just kind of blows my mind, and it baffles me a little bit. So let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. In at the number 4 slot today is something that Bioshock Infinite ended up cleaning up, and that is the effects of each plasmid, and in terms of Infinite, each vigor that is ingested by the players. So during Bioshock 1, the only time that Jack appears to be affected by a plasmid is when he gets Electrobolt. But as he gets more and more plasmids, nothing happens. You just have the plasmid. There's no effects to your hands, there's no effects to your body, nothing. You just end up getting the plasmid. Whereas in Bioshock Infinite, the more that Booker ends up getting more vigors, you can see his hands change. When he gets Devil's Kiss, it burns his skin away and just shows the bones of his hand. When he gets Undertow, you can see all of the ripples in his hand and stuff like that caused from the water. So I just want to know, why is it that during the opening scene where Jack gets Electrobolt, does he flip out and not flip out when he gets any other plasmids? So again, let me know what you guys think of that down in the comment section below. So for the number 3 slot, the DLC from Bioshock Infinite, Burial at Sea Episode 2, really made me think about the start of Bioshock. So, as you guys know, in Burial at Sea Episode 2, Elizabeth ends up being on the same plane as Jack. You can see the layout of the entire plane, you can see Jack turn the overhead light on, read the note, and then pull out a revolver. What I want to know is that when you see all of these people that are on the plane, you see the flight attendant, where is everyone during the actual initial plane crash? So if you go back and play Bioshock 1, you notice there's a purse, there's some bags of luggage, there's even the tip of the plane. However, there are no other people around the area of the crash. So to me, it's always kind of baffled me as to where everyone went, because it seems like they just mysteriously vanished. Now I know with Bioshock 1, at least during the gameplay of it, there could only be 5 enemies on the map at the time, or at a time, and then the rest would spawn in as toolboxes. So maybe it was something to do with storage on the disk. That's why they didn't have the people. But every time I go back and play Bioshock 1 and watch the plane crash, I just think, since we see a purse, we see, I believe, a pearl necklace, we see all of the bags of luggage, but we don't see any people. So I want to know, where are they? What happened to them? So if you guys can shed some insight into that, let me know down in the comments below. But like I said, this one is probably the question that makes me the most curious, just because there's at least 20 unaccounted for people that were on the plane. So where are they? Did some of them go to the same lighthouse as Jack and go down to Rapture? I don't know. That's really it. I don't know, and it's going to bother me that I'm never going to get an answer to that. So on to question number 2. Okay, now for the number 2 slot, I understand that this is to progress the story and to get that sense of accomplishment of finally I broke the plasmid and I broke the control away from Fontaine. However, think of it from a character standpoint. Frank Fontaine was said to be a very, very intelligent conman, and quite frankly, he was. He had you believing that Atlas was real all throughout Bioshock until you finally killed Andrew Ryan, took the key, and basically gave him control of Rapture, and then obviously the Fontaine reveal happens. However, there's one glaring oversight with that. Obviously, after you have the run-in with Tenenbaum, he tells you to go get stepped on by a Big Daddy. And during this whole entire scene, or this whole entire, I guess, part of the map, you eventually have to find 2 doses of Lot 192. So for me, if Frank Fontaine was this brilliant conman, how come he had these 2 samples just sitting around Rapture, just free for the taking? Even Suchong, one of the best scientists within Rapture, even tells you, I believe in an audio diary, that Frank Fontaine was paranoid about it and that he had 2 doses at least made for him just in case. So for me, it just doesn't make sense. You say that Frank Fontaine is this brilliant con man. However, knowing that Jack would eventually end up killing him, or having the paranoia that Jack would end up killing him, or that the mind control plasmid would be used on himself, why would you just have that sitting around? Why wouldn't you have it in a safe or actually in a remote location? That would make more sense, rather than just having both doses sitting out in the open. Again, with this, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the matter down in the comment section below. Now, this last question that I'm going to propose to you is something that just personally bothers me. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way. At the end of the game, when you're facing Frank Fontaine for the final boss fight, you end up using the little sister syringe on Fontaine, stabbing him in the chest and draining Adam from him. So the thing that I don't quite understand is, why did Irrational think that at that point in time it was a good idea for them to give you Adam when you don't use it? It just really doesn't make sense to me. I know that obviously you're draining the Adam from him using the syringe. However, why is it giving Jack or the player the Adam when you're not going to use it? I know you can do New Game Plus, but I'm not exactly sure if that Adam carries over. I don't think it does. Don't quote me on that though. But for me, it just seems kind of silly. It's the end of the game. You obviously know it's the end of the game. So why would you give that significant of an amount of Adam to the player? To me, it just seems silly and it doesn't make sense. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, I encourage you guys to have a conversation down in the comments section below and let me know what you think of the 5 questions that I proposed within this video. As well as, let me know if you guys have any questions about Bioshock, Bioshock 2, or Bioshock Infinite. And let me know if you want to see this turn into kind of a mini-series here on my channel. There's a lot of questions that the series proposes, and if I could bring them to your guys' attention, I'll want to do so. So again, let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, would you kindly drop a like on it? It helps the video get out there and it helps the channel grow. If you're new here and enjoy the content and want to join the Rapture family or see the Rapture family grow, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, that way you never miss a video or a live stream, and feel free to share the channel or share the content with some family and friends. If you guys want to follow me on my social media accounts, the links to that will be down in the description below for you guys to check out. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.